See, I want y'all to understand something. People will buy a tiny shed or get them a shed, right? And they'll live in it without insulating it, without putting any type of drywall in it or tile in it, anything, roofing it, nothing, no type of electrical. I'm talking about nothing. They would just go completely solar and live in a shed. You know what I'm saying? It's just the bones pretty much. And what they failed to tell you, these people, I want you to understand, there are people that literally do this. Like, you can drive down, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the desert or in the middle of the wood, and you'll see people with their door open in the summertime, living in a shed that has not been completed. They're not planning on renovating it anytime soon. They just want to pay something to have an instantaneous structure because, you know, listen, you only put a deposit down when you get in a lot of these sheds in the first place, right? So with that being said, you know, people already have it in their mind, okay, they got a monthly bill. You know what I'm saying? They have a monthly bill. They probably paid off the land. Let's say they did, right? Now they got a monthly bill, right? Okay, that may be the extent of what they are willing to pay. They don't want to pay rent prices. They don't want to pay none of this extra shit. You know what I'm saying? They may get a monthly check or something. A lot of people that live off grid get monthly checks. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they do. This is the only way they can survive. They get a monthly check, they pay their rent, and then, you know, like I say, they may put some tarp on the wall or, you know, some type of wallpaper, but they're not doing this, right? And I want you to understand, them sheds get so hot. Anything that is not insulated in the summertime with straight heat, it gets so fucking... This is why the door is always open. If you see a person with their door open and they have a shed that is unfinished, it's because it's hot, especially in the summertime. It's fucking hot. But then when you keep the door open, because a lot of them, they're not getting real ventilation. It's not a lot of windows on it when it's a tiny shed, at least. You know, so it's a small hot box. It's gonna heat up twice and 3 times as fast. You know what I'm saying? And so when you open up the door, now you gotta, you know, if you don't put no type of screening up, now you gotta face the mosquitoes and the flies and the ladybugs and the butterflies. And so they end up sleeping with bugs a lot of the time, flying bugs. You know, the bugs stick to the ceiling of your, and this goes for a lot of things. Let me just expand on this because, you know, you could be sleeping in your car, your van, your truck, whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? And you need to roll the windows down during the day. If you're living in the desert, dog, expect for your ceiling to be filled with flies. If you're living in the desert, expect for your ceiling to be filled. If you're living in the woods, expect to be stung 1,000,000 times by mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying? It's very different than the city. You know, this went off into something deeper than what it was, but I just needed to explain that. You know, so I just want to prepare y'all for the individuals that are thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to get my tax refund and then I'm going to get me a shed, you know, because it starts to get, even if you got a small building, a 12 by 12, you could be spending upwards of $6,000 in renovations, you know, up to $10,000 in renovations just completing the project. You know, because especially if you don't have any experience, you're going to fuck up. You're going to have to buy this piece again. You're going to lose some pieces, lose some parts. Until you start to train your mind on where to put specific items, you're going to lose them, destroy them, break them. Rain may get to them. The elements may blow them away. You never know. You know what I'm saying? So be expecting to spend a grip of money. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And so you really got to, like I say, do what you want to do at the end of the day. This is your life, you know, but from experience, I just wouldn't do it, you know. But if you don't have any experience and you're trying to get in something, maybe this is the way for you. You know what I'm saying? You can spend a couple of $100 and they come drop it off and then bill you monthly, even though they adding interest on top of it for you to keep the shit. You know, it's just what it is. And my thing is that, like I say, do what you want to do. This is your life. Do as you please. But at the end of the day, is it really worth it? If you have building experience or, you know, it's just you. If it's just you, a single person, and you're a male and you know, you feel like you may have the capability of building something, I would suggest you go ahead and do that and get your scratches and scars while you can. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get older, it's not going to be as fun. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to have the experience, and so you're going to be a lot more frustrated that it's not going your way if you lacking patience, if you don't understand, everything. All of this is art, and you pretty much putting your mind and soul into this build, whatever it is, because it's a mental thing when it comes to building as well. It's not just physical, it's mental. It weighs a toll on the mind. You know what I'm saying? And so be prepared for that. Be prepared to go through something mental and physical if you want to build something, and be prepared for all the fucking taxations you're going to get in your life when you get this shed. Be prepared to be fucking burning hot. And you can get you an AC. Oh yeah, I'm just going to get a gas generator and an air conditioner. Go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a small space. If your place, if you live in a desert, and when it's really hot, that AC is not going to, listen, it's not going to work as well as you would want it to work. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no moisture in the air. And so the air conditioner has to overcompensate to keep you cool and shit. It's people that go outside and they pour water on their air conditioners to keep the moisture inside of it. Because, y'all should know how an AC works. It needs some type of moisture, some type of water. It needs that. Freon, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it needs some type of water element to keep the motherfucker cool. And you living in the desert, it's rough. It's tough. It's the most rootinest, cuteness. Oh God. Hey, but really think about it. If you want to get a shed, like I say, by all means, they cheap. They're ready to use, ready to move in. If you can live like this, if you can't, I wouldn't do it. But if you can, and like I say, I when I got my shed, I went into it. That shit was unfinished. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, I already told y'all what happened. But it is what it is. It is what the fuck it is, dog.